Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to IdeaDiary. Thanks for coming back, guys, and hanging out. All right, so today I wanted to go over revenue streams. I feel like I watch a lot of YouTube videos where people are talking about their income streams and like how much they made on YouTube or on Medium or podcasting income. You know, I really like when people kind of show their revenue streams off and also, you know, make it clear that, you know, they might have been working without getting paid for 1 year or 10 years or whatever it is. And I really like videos like that. So I'm not going to get into my revenue streams yet. I feel like I want to accomplish some things doing stuff like this, like using a podcast, using all the different things. I've got like 10 revenue streams here written down, mainly to give everyone an idea of what's possible and that you can have revenue streams where you're not counting on somebody to give you a paycheck and you're not really, it's just so different for everybody. There's so many ways to get to A to B or from A to B. And, you know, you don't have to take clients. You don't have to be freelance. You don't have to have a job. You can do all those things, and being freelance is usually a bridge for a lot of people when they're trying to go from working for a company to working for themselves to having, you know, income that just comes in all the time. So, okay, so every day I meditate in my own weird way, and every day I do morning pages, which is kind of like meditating. It's kind of like automatic writing in a way. It's whatever you want it to be. I kind of use it as an organizational morning tool to really I don't really plan my day necessarily every minute of the day or anything like that. But I write down every morning, like I spend 20, 30 minutes with myself just writing about whatever I want. I do it in the morning, so I capture that hypnagogic state time between asleep and awake. I try not to do a lot from the bed to the point where I get to my desk and just start flowing some writing stuff. But I do have this one sheet that I rewrite every morning, and it has my income streams of what how I want to make money in my life. Not all of these have been achieved yet. And then I write down my, right now I have 4 main projects that I'm working on. And like I said earlier this week, I have a problem with adding these extra little jobs that I put for myself that are extra. They're not necessarily necessary. But then a lot of times when I do these random little things that are just in my mind, then I feel like I got to do that for whatever reason. I end up learning something or making something else that I want to do that is important a lot faster because I already have done all this other work on this other random project that really meant nothing at the time, but it like saved me 12 hours because I had already this thing done. You know, and a lot of times, sometimes I'm just relearning a program or learning a new program, and it's just solving weird little problems that, you know, ultimately I benefit from. But it does take me off of my game as far as like my plans of what I wanted to do, and then things get pushed to the side, because that is one thing when you're the only person you have to answer to, it's very easy to say, all right, let me just handle all this chaos this week and I'll start Monday with the thing that I want to do. And so that ends up being pushed and pushed and pushed. And this year has been crazy with pushing things to another day. So yeah, so I finished that one project earlier this week that I said that was definitely my last one. I'm not going to do any extra. And then, of course, a new idea pops in my head. And so I really want to make this one more thing, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pass it along to someone else because I feel like it doesn't necessarily take my specialty skills. Someone else can do that. So let's hope that I don't end up doing it and that it gets done somehow. But I have this sheet of paper that I have my main goals of my living goals and my health goals and my money goals and kind of like my mindset things just for overall happiness and all that stuff. So my main ways that I choose to make money and the only ways that I do want to make money are from royalties, which means I make something once and I can continue to earn income from that thing. Real estate, be it from rent, which I'm not crazy about renting stuff out to people, but I do see the value while you're buying properties and upgrading them and getting them better, or just kind of waiting for the property values to go up a little bit. I see the value in renting stuff out. I'm not an Airbnb person. And I really, if I have to rent something out, I really wanted to focus on commercial rents and businesses because I'd rather, if someone can't pay rent, I don't want to kick them out of their home. But if they're having a business there and they can't afford their business rent anymore, it feels a little bit nicer or more okay to say, okay, you can't pay the rent anymore. I got to move on to the next person that can pay rent. Royalties and real estate. Dividends. I want to make money off of investing into other businesses. It's just one of my dreams to be able to invest in different friends' businesses and kind of use my skills to help them make money. And then hopefully I'll get my cut of the profits through business dividends. I'm not crazy about the stock market because I feel like I don't know what those companies are doing and I don't know how they're about to mess up. And I quit working for a company pretty early in my career. So I didn't have all that time building up a 401k or anything like that. So I don't just have stock portfolios and things like that. So if I wanted to invest in companies that are public, I'd have to really, it just feels like there's a lot more ways I can make money and make better money than whatever it would grow, the 12% a year or whatever it is, with the stock market stuff. It's just not, personally doesn't excite me. It's just not my thing. I know that you can make money doing that. It's just not for me. And then the fourth thing that I want to be able to make money in is in money. So investing in and learning about Bitcoin or digital currencies. I kind of want to get into that more. I'm not really into that necessarily now. And I do want to get into gold, physical stuff like crystals and gems and gold and whatever. But that's kind of a later thing. And that's more when you just have money to lose and you can start investing in money. I think to me, the things that have been valuable throughout the whole history of since money became a thing has been land and gold and art. I feel like those three things have been successfully proven to hold their value through thousands of years. That's what I'm mostly focusing on. And then how that works for me as far as revenue streams. Some of these are things that I can make a lot of money at and some not very much. But if I focus on any one of these things, I feel like something can happen. So one of the first ways I make money is by selling paintings. I'm not a fine artist. I'm into the more affordable home decor style paintings, something you might see at a Z gallery, something maybe a tad bit above from your average, something you might buy at Home Goods for $40, but not quite spending $600 on a Z gallery painting that you don't even know who the artist is. So kind of sticking somewhere in the middle of a home goods purchase, like I'm just buying a picture because it's fun, to I'm buying art from an artist because it's like, it feels a little bit more meaningful to have that on my wall. But I'm not a fine artist, so I can't really charge tons and tons of money. But maybe when I'm in my 50s or in my 60s, that's something I want to capture for myself, and then I can go for that. But in the meantime, I can sell, a couple paintings and hustle just a little bit. So where I might put paintings in stores, like furniture stores and stuff, and so they would get a cut. I would sell the paintings. I try to sell the paintings just like on my own without a middleman, but that never worked out for me, I guess. It's easier to let someone else sell your paintings for you. I'll just say that. So my talent isn't in the selling of the painting, but just to make the painting and to put it into a store where somebody's shopping for decor. Okay, so the second thing where I could make money is selling merch, so print on demand. And I've tried doing it with different things like Shopify and doing print on demand with my own website. I'm not an Etsy person, so I've never really done that, but I am on Amazon merch. And with Amazon merch, anyone can sign up, and you start with 10 positions or 10 design placements that you're allowed to upload. And the more that you sell, the more spots that you get. And once you sell one shirt, that shirt stays on Amazon forever. But once you upload a design, you get about 90 days for it to sell or not to sell. And if it doesn't sell, Amazon takes that shirt off. And they have other products and stuff, but it's mainly fun t-shirts that I think people shop for on Amazon merch. So, and there are people, I'm not one of them, but one shirt can make them $100,000, because even though it's a $20 shirt, there might be 1,000 people that want that same shirt. And they're not like greatly designed shirts or anything like that. It's more just like joke shirts and weird fun shirts or Halloween shirts, or it's just something like a side hustle type of thing. But for some people, it is main hustle. So I never took the print on demand stuff to the next level, to the point where I'm making livable salary. But I definitely feel like if that was my goal, I could somehow get there if I just push forward at it. So the next thing is selling video games. My husband's a VR developer. We are working on a game right now. He's mainly working on it. I just kind of helped with the name and the concept of the whole thing. So that should be on sale soon. And it's kind of unknown, the revenue that independent games do. He kind of was doing client work for VR, different things. And we kind of shift the focus from client work to just independent game studio publishing games. So revenue stream for that is coming soon. So that's kind of a new thing, but we're hoping that, you can make 0 or you can make $1 million. So with VR, it's all kind of new, but there is a lot of stuff out there. It's kind of fresh and new, so people want to try different things. And video games is a royalty situation where you make the game once and it lasts forever, and you get to sell it over and over and over again. So we'll just have to see how that goes. There's a lot of companies that make video games, and they have 5 employees, 10 employees, 20 employees, 100 employees, 5,000 employees, and everyone gets paid very well. So if we're going for a one-man studio type of thing where you don't really need a lot to either break even or to hit a profits, we're looking pretty good. But something good's happening. And living the dream and all that stuff. So there's the only place to go is up when that's concerned. You can always take client work if your game or project or album or whatever it is, your book doesn't sell automatically out the gate. Because sometimes you might have to make 10 games before it starts making money. Sometimes you have to make 10 movies before they start making money. There's no formula necessarily, so you've got to really love the process, I guess is what I'm saying, because you could be doing the process for a very long time before you make, the big bucks, I guess. Okay, so the fourth thing is monetizing my social media. So as you guys know, or may not know, but I'll tell you right now, that I'm trying to only use social media platforms that I can monetize. So I'm focusing on podcasting, using Spotify, using something called Anchor, and I'm focusing on YouTube, and I'm focusing on Medium. So that is all something that I can share myself and share my life and get paid to do it. And I've just started as of July 1st of this year. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll have something to report of some type of revenue at some point. But right now I'm just getting used to making content and seeing how it goes. Okay, so number 5 is selling books, so physical books. So because I am a graphic designer, the one product that I can make where I don't really need any help necessarily is a book. So I can, if I write the book myself, I would have to pay an editor to make sure everything's spelled correctly and makes sense or whatever it is. After it's all written and everything's edited, all I have to do is lay out the book myself and upload the files and put it for sale. And I use a company called Ingram to publish books. It's pretty much a free way. They're books printed on demand. It's a real product. It doesn't suck. They don't look janky. They just look like a book. So selling books is a way to make revenue income, and it's basically a free product that I can create. It just takes my time. And right now I'm at a point in my life where using my time instead of money is a lot easier and just more realistic. So the next thing is selling digital products. So I'm getting into that. I've told y'all a bunch of times, I don't want to be a teacher necessarily. So I'm not interested in selling the new workshop of whatever for $2,000 and I'm selling a high ticket item. I don't really like that. I don't buy those things. There are some courses that that I do see valuable because I feel like they're teaching something that at a professional level that it's like, okay, if I just want to learn this, it's almost cheaper to buy their course and to learn whatever it is I would hire that person to do, basically pay for their brain to tell me what they're going to do, and then I can do it myself or figure out a way instead of paying for them $50, $100 an hour. I can learn it is, take their course, use their skills to learn what I need to do, and maybe pay someone else to do the parts that I don't want to do at a much more reasonable price for me. Okay, that might sound confusing, but just selling digital products in general, there's a million different types of digital products. I'm testing out some digital products with Gumroad right now. I'm trying to do the download worksheets for $1. And, I don't know if that's going to be income in some way, but it's kind of my way to make money using a show where people can invest just $1 or $2 into learning something that might be valuable. There's a million digital products that are possible. Okay, so the next thing to make revenue is to collect rent. If you have a extra space and you're not using it, or if your house is huge and you can kind of block off another room so somebody can rent it out as an office or something private. There's all sorts of different ways that you can use the space you have to collect rent. You can rent out parking spaces. You can rent out, people are renting out parts of their garage as storage units in a neighborhood, instead of somebody having to drive, 10 minutes to a storage unit, they can just rent out your garage and store their stuff in your place. There's just endless amount of things that you could rent out, but you can also buy a duplex, rent out the other side. You can buy a house and make the garage, 500 square foot studio and rent it out as Airbnb, or rent it as an apartment. There's all sorts of different things, but rent is which goes into my next thing where I want to make money is with capital gains and dividends. So I want to buy land in commercial residential zones, and build properties and sell them, or own them forever and rent them out. Either way, there are a trillion different things to do to make capital gains, and there's a trillion different ways to get dividends from investing in businesses and different things. So that's kind of all my revenue streams. I'm about, if I do sell the property that I'm in right now, will be one of my biggest deals yet that I've ever achieved. And that's still, it's up in the air whether that's going to happen or not, because it's just for sale and, who knows. But, it's one of my things that I'm working on. If any of you guys listen to Robert Kiyosaki, you don't even have to have money to get into the real estate game, but you have to be smart and you have to have great relationships, and it does help if you have money. But that being said, it's possible. Number 9 is where I want to get into investing into, earth things like crystals and gold and stuff like that. And I don't know what that means for me. I'll see what that means when the time comes, when it comes to investing in money and kind of taking things to the next level. But I'm interested. 10th thing where I make money is through freelance graphic design, custom commercial art, and illustration. So I don't take clients anymore because I'm trying to build up revenue streams on different levels. And if I take client work, it really takes me off of focusing on myself and making big money. So I'm definitely not taking client work anymore, but it is, and if I ever do need to, I can illustrate a book, I can do someone's logo design. I mean, there's a lot of things that with technology, have just replaced the need for graphic designers. So I'm kind of cool with that. I went to college, I got a degree, I worked in an office, I got a ton of experience. I spent a long time freelancing. So it is something that's always there, that I can always find a $1,000 job here or there, or find a $10,000 job here or there. And I always have the skills. So that does bring a lot of comfort when there's not always a paycheck coming in, and you're not, if there ever was a time when I didn't have enough money or something, I could always go back to that. And even more so, if I wanted even less stress, I could always get a job for a company. I don't see that happening, but anything can happen. The world's crazy. It's not that bad. Doing illustration for money and whatever it is, different commercial art projects, it's pretty fun if you have to work. Okay, so I guess that's basically the show. I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.